very important reasons why you should be really riding a motorcycle in the city. I'm going to go over all 5. There's a couple of obvious ones in there which I'm sure you can already guess, but stay tuned because it's quite a serious and very important point for point 5 for riding your motorcycle in the city. The first point of our 5 important points, first but very much not least, and it may be the standout obvious point, but yeah, just beat the traffic. Obviously there's so much traffic in the cities. I've lived in a few cities in my life, many years on this planet, and I've never understood, I've always ridden motorbikes, and I've never ever understood why people are in a car, a 5-seater car capacity, by themselves 90% of the time, literally just sitting in traffic. Okay, this is a bit of a tricky one because we're at the lights here, so I'm just sitting in traffic as well. You can't work your way around the laws. Yeah, beat the traffic, guys. So many benefits to it rather than what you just think. It runs so much deeper. First of all, it just gives you so much more time to do the more important things in life. You can spend more time at home with your family or your friends, enjoying that time. You can be at the gym for longer. You can wake up later in the morning and leave to get to work a fair bit later if you're living in the city. It is a huge benefit. Now, the biggest benefit of this point will come in point number 5 at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that because it is a big one and it's a serious point as well. Beat those queues, get home faster, reap the benefits of a motorcycle in the city. Now, if you may, allow me to demonstrate very important reason to ride a motorcycle in the city. Number 2. It's convenient, dedicated parking space just for motorcyclist riders. Now that makes you feel important. So that is point number 2. Parking. For the city I'm in at the moment, the city of Bath in Somerset, motorcycles can park for free anywhere. Now, the average length of a car, the 4-wheeled metal box behind me, is 14.6 feet. The average width of a motorcycle is 2.6 feet. Given that cars are also a lot wider, I hope you can hear me, cars park lengthways, of course, in parking spaces. However, motorcycles, we can park widthways. So for every car that's parked in the city, if you think about it, you can park 5 motorcycles, or 5.5 if you squeeze them in, per car that is parked in the city. Not only are you worrying less when you get to your destination, because you can pretty much be guaranteed you can find a parking space, so then you're just having a better day in general, but also you're doing the rest of the city a favour by saving on congestion and saving space. Number 2, important point. You must ride a motorcycle in the city. Just a off-the-cuff point, a bonus point for you after the parking. In some cities, a lot of cities, especially in the UK, have congestion charges now. So you actually have to pay to drive your car pretty much anywhere in the city if it's an older vehicle, which a lot are, which can get really expensive. Motorbikes, go for free. Don't pay a dime. One big bonus point there. Very important bonus point to ride a motorcycle in the city. See if you can guess it. That's it. Save on fuel, save the planet, and save yet even more money for riding a motorcycle in the city. With the average fuel consumption for a car in the UK, cool, that was slippy, being 38 miles per gallon. Now I must admit, that is getting better with all of the electric cars around. However, in today's given climate, electric cars are even getting very expensive to charge. 38 mpg average for a car. Average for a motorcycle is 58 miles per gallon. So you're 20 miles per gallon better off. Now, factor in that if you're purely riding in the city, a lot of motorcycles are going to be automatic or scooters with a considerably lower cc than the 1200cc cruiser I'm riding right now. That fuel consumption can go up to an average of 90 to 100 miles per gallon. whilst riding through the city. That is really not to be sniffed at. In today's climate, the amount of money you're going to be saving is almost double compared to driving a car, taking into consideration that you're pretty much going to be getting anywhere in the city twice as quick on a motorcycle as you are in a car. Not through riding quickly, but as you explained earlier, through beating traffic, etc. You're going to be using even less fuel and saving even more money. On top of that, and personally to me an even bigger reason, you're saving the planet. Less pollution, you're doing a good deed, good karma, good vibes all round. That is an important point. You are saving a lot of fuel, and you're also helping out the rest of the population of the city by cutting down on pollution for the city. It's a complete no-brainer. So guys, before we quickly move on to point 4 and 5, and stay tuned because 5 being the most important point, just stop there and consider point 1, 2 and 3, and consider how much money you could be saving if you were to be riding a motorcycle in the city every day, however often you ride in the city. So 1, you'll be getting to places quicker, more often, stress-free, so possibly more money from work, maybe you're getting your money's worth out of the gym, whatever you like doing, whatever it may be. Number 2, parking. Parking for free. You're saving money with parking. Also congestion charges in cities these days, you're saving a considerable amount of money in congestion charges, so that's a big bonus. And number 3, think about the cash in fuel you're saving. Add up those 3, do whatever you do, however much you spend on that per month, times it by 12 for the year, figure out how much you're saving for the year. It is a definite saving, and in today's current climate, I think it is well worth considering. Point number 4, nearly at the most important, manoeuvrability. It's a big one. Of course, there's overtaking all of the traffic, it helps to be manoeuvrable, weaving in and out of cars, filtering as we call it in the UK, which is entirely legal in case you're listening from over the pond. But yeah, manoeuvrability is a very big one, and not just for filtering through traffic. So as what happens in the city a lot, you may take a wrong turn, and if you're in a bit of an old school town like Bath here, there are lots of little turns, little cobbled streets, etc. And if you take a wrong turn, like I just have there, and it's a dead end, you can turn around with ease. So you've got much more confidence to ride around the city, go wherever you want. It doesn't matter if you take a wrong turn, really. You just turn around, you can go wherever you want. Okay, it's not entirely illegal. I have never done this and never would. But if you needed to, you could skip up on the curb a little bit to turn around, you know, if it benefited you a bit. So many benefits of the manoeuvrability, along with the parking. You're very rarely going to get boxed in anywhere. You can generally get your motorbike out of the majority of places, much more so than in a car is anyway. A few examples, perhaps there's a bus in the way. Other cars can't get around, there's not enough room, they're not manoeuvrable enough to pull out and overtake the bus whilst it's stationary. Very doable on your motorbike. What about if it's bin morning? The worst. You're blocked in on your lane because the bin lorry's in the way. Yeah, no problem. You can slip through any of those gaps on your manoeuvrable two-wheeled friend. Cool, I didn't even plan this. Look at this, I've just overtaken about 50 cars at least. On to point number 5, most important point in my opinion. There have been actually surprising amount of studies and research gone into commuting in the city, and not just the city but also rural areas, but mainly the city, and the reliance on public transport, trains as well as buses, also on driving in the city, and the stresses it can bring to your life through the congestion and commuting in the city like that. Point number 5 It's the benefits motorbikes have for your mental health for riding, especially in the city. So lots of research has been done. It's been shown to increase anxiety, depression, hopelessness. Now, it may seem trivial to some of you, but it is a real problem. The stresses of, are you going to get to work on time? The stresses of things that are, quite frankly, out of your control, public transport. Whatever you have to go and do, however important it is, can you rely on the train turning up on exactly the same time, there being enough room for you to get on, etc. It's out of your control, and that causes a lot of people a lot of stress and anxiety, which affects their mental health a lot. Motorbikes relieve you of a lot of that stress, trust me. Not only that, they're actually a joy, so you're relieved of that stress, and then you get the added benefit of them being fun and pleasurable to ride as well. It actually adds a lift to your life rather than just easing the stresses. That's point number 5, the most important. Get a motorbike in the city, avoid the stresses, avoid the negative impact on your life, improve your life with a motorbike in the city. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao Bella.